This morning, early voting begins for the upcoming midterm election. What you need to know to cast your ballot.
Graffiti and protest clashes over a conservative commentator on the UW campus overnight will take you to the scene.
And we have been tracking some showers overnight that look to be moving out of the picture, but there's more to come.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Chris Stanford is off today. A live look at our weather patio this morning. A lot of wet leaves out there as we kick off this morning.
Look how shiny the pumpkins are. They've been rained on.
Yeah, the leaves are a little bit of a mess now. Hopefully you got a little bit of raking done before that.
You better believe we did not.
You know.
It is a mess out there. I was looking at our yard compared to everybody else's, and yeah, we just have sticky red leaves everywhere.
Well, too late now.
Yeah. Feel free to come over, neighbor, and help out.
We'll see about that. I got to take a nap.
Neighbors helping neighbors.
Meteorologist Chris Reese is here with your first warned forecast. Rain moving out for now, but more on the way, Chris.
More rain is on the way. Here's what we do have on radar this morning that is starting to move out of the area. We had a couple showers move out of Janesville through Lake Mills up towards Watertown. Now that's even starting to move towards parts of Fond du Lac County. So the rest of the area all dry. The Madison Metro, okay, maybe I shouldn't say all dry, but it's damp. There's nothing falling out of the sky right now, and of course it is still cloudy. Temperatures are hanging out into the 50s and 40s, and that cooler air will continue to work its way in. Our temperature has dropped another degree, 53 at 4:30, now at 51, Stoughton still at 53, Rockdale at 54. Almost every temperature here has dropped a degree. 49 now as close as Verona. That being said, as we start to look ahead, our temperatures will continue to drop. Yes, it's 51 right now, but we are going to see those temperatures continue to fall into the 40s and even 30s. 39 in Viroqua right now will be into the 40s within the next couple of hours.
Okay, Chris Reese, thank you very much. We appreciate it. 6:01 happening today. Early voting begins in Madison for the upcoming midterms, 2 weeks ahead of Election Day. We want to help you with everything you need to know ahead of the polls. Over on channel3000.com, we have a full comprehensive breakdown of the most important information you're going to need. We have an interactive map showing all the locations and hours of Madison polling places. And in that same story, we have the city explain exactly how in-person absentee voting works. It's going to take you through a step-by-step walkthrough to make sure you have your voice heard this election season. And if you're planning to vote early in Madison today or over the next 2 weeks, you do need to bring an acceptable form of ID. Don't forget that. You'll also have to cast your vote with an in-person absentee ballot that will be available at the clerk's office. Any voters who need to register for the first time or update their registration will also need a proof of residence document with them as well. There's a lot of information, right? We have all of it posted, again, up on channel3000.com/elections.
With early voting beginning today, Wisconsin educators from around the state gathering at the state capitol. Teachers, administrators, and students from all across Wisconsin came together for a Unity in the Community rally last night. It was all part of an effort to push people toward the polls this election to bring a change to Wisconsin's education system. One of the biggest concerns expressed during the rally is a lack of increased education funding from the state legislature. With funding now falling on the shoulders of taxpayers, activists say this midterm election is critical for the future of Wisconsin students.
If things keep going the way they are, research tells us that Wisconsin will be short 130,000 people for available jobs by 2030, just 8 years from now. We can prevent this problem from getting bigger if we can call on our business leaders and political leaders to invest in public K-12 education.
Around Wisconsin, the highest number of school referendums since 2001 has taken place, with 166 already this year. That includes the 81 referendums on the upcoming November ballot.
6:03 now. Protests and counter-protests also hitting the UW campus this week, with conservative commentator Matt Walsh visiting for a guest speech. You can see some of that graffiti in this video here, a lot of it too vulgar to show on camera. Police are still investigating who's behind it this morning, the vandalism and those protests, both taking place before a screening of Walsh's controversial film, What is a Woman? It's been shown on college campuses across the country, receiving criticism for being transphobic. Community members showed up throughout the evening because they say having Walsh speak isn't just offensive, it's dangerous to some in the trans community.
for the UW to be allowing such a man to invite such followers onto our campus. It really imposes a lot of risk to those community members, like our trans brothers and sisters, like our non-binary folks.
I don't fall on the right side of the spectrum when it comes to this issue. In fact, what I have to say on the topic isn't really my perspective at all. It's just the simple truth. It's simple, basic, biological truth. That's it.
Counter-protesters, they're in support of Walsh, at one point clashed with the other group on Library Mall. Police have not arrested any announced, though, stemming from the evening.
Another act of vandalism across the state this morning, this time on a political sign in Onalaska. Police there recovered a sign for 94th Assembly District candidate Ryan Hipsch, spray painted with a swastika. Hipsch says several of his signs have been stolen, but this was the first case of vandalism. Political analyst Joe Heim says though acts like these aren't frequent, they're popping up more often.
Those are not positive signs for democracy and positive signs for elections, because they're examples of extremism.
Hipsch opponent, incumbent Democrat Steve Doyle, condemned the vandalism, saying there's no place in politics for defacing other people's yard signs.
The FBI is joining the investigation in St. Louis, the latest city dealing with the devastating school shooting. 2 people were killed, a 16-year-old teacher, a student rather, and a teacher. The gunman, a 19-year-old recent graduate of the school. Police say they exchanged fire with him just minutes after the call came in. He later died at the hospital. Some students who were forced to run from the school now wonder how they'll ever be able to return.
Seen my friend have all blood on her hand, and it was like she seen the shooter, and the shooter came to her and said, "You ready to die?"
Police are trying to determine a motive. They're looking into whether mental health played a role. The school is closed today while the investigation continues.
Developing now at home, Madison police investigating after they say someone shot at another person on Gammon Road. Officers were sent to the scene just off the Beltline around 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. 2 cars were reportedly involved in an incident, and police say one person got out of their vehicle and shot at the other person as they were getting out of theirs. Both cars left the scene before police arrived. No injuries were reported.
Breaking news this morning, Adidas officially breaking ties with rapper Kanye West. Now known as Ye, the singer is under fire for several recent anti-Semitic comments. Several celebrities are out with comments against him. Other brands, including fashion brand Balenciaga, have dropped him. Again, Adidas now officially joining the ranks of companies no longer working with Kanye West. We have a COVID update this morning. New variants of Omicron are continuing to spread as we head into the flu season. Local health experts say the updated booster based on Omicron should provide enough protection against them. However, some of these antibody treatments that hospitals in our area are offering, they're based on the original strain of the coronavirus.
So if you're someone who counts on getting an antibody treatment, that's probably not going to be as effective against these new strains for that reason.
While the new variants are slightly different, these new Omicron offshoots have evolved to share many of the same mutations. Some experts say that means we've entered a new phase of the pandemic. That means we'll see several circulations of these variants at the same time. Just about 6:08 on your Tuesday. Coming up, a Susan Simon special on a house that provides more power than it uses. Well, we all could learn from it as those energy prices continue to rise.
And we're in the 6:08 with the Sun Prairie family's Halloween tradition.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
An experience as stirring and inspiring as it is joyful, funny, and exuberant. Come From Away, the Broadway musical.
The garage door is America's new front door. So why not look at it in a whole new way? Let Precision's experienced designers come to you. Let us show you the difference a new Precision garage door can make.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
This ring is a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. He would come every day to help me walk again. And now I'm back. This is a reminder
that love endures all.
Express your extraordinary love. Jared, love brilliantly.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
Dear Exit Strategy. All your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back, 6:11 on a Tuesday morning, and it's time to slow things down and see what's happening in the 608 at this hour. We're talking about a unique family tradition for Halloween out of Sun Prairie this morning. That's where we're catching up with Aaron Voken, who is the master behind what you got behind you here this morning. Aaron, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. Thank you. Yeah, it's it's turned into a tradition, I guess you could say. We've been here. This is our second Halloween here at in Sun Prairie, and we did Pirates the first year, and my son River and my wife said, hey, let's do something different. It was our second year to do Pirates, and so they said, well, let's do some mad scientist stuff, and so I kind of started in January and started making stuff and went with a mad scientist theme.
So you guys are definitely the talk of the neighborhood there. Talk about all of the work that goes into creating that masterpiece.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I started in January and just kind of building stuff. I built a 7-foot Frankenstein out of just a door and some electrical conduit and stuff, and then something else. I put some skeletons together, and I'd see ideas on, say, Pinterest or Facebook, online and things, and just kind of, oh, well, maybe I should try that. And it took a lot of time, hundreds of hours, but it's got my mind off of things. Stress of life and that kind of thing. And then when it's all done, the joy it brings to people is really exciting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Why do it? Why go through all of that, but you just like to be able to spread that joy within Sun Prairie?
Yeah, it's really fun. People will come by. We had someone come by from Fitchburg a couple of days ago, and they had moved here from out of the country, and they saw a news thing about it or something, and they said, hey, we wanted to come see it. And things like that, stories like that are really great to see people just get excited about Halloween and whatever age they are, to still kind of find joy and excitement about it. It's really fun too. In the neighborhood, you'll see people come by as I get started putting things together, and they'll say, oh, no, what are you building now? Or when are you putting things out? And or even in August or September. And so that's a fun sense of expectation, them wanting to come out and see things.
All right, so Halloween just a few days away. If people are interested in driving by, what do they need to know, Aaron?
Yeah, so we are in Sun Prairie, down the street from the post office or Walmart, and we're on Silverado. And so if you come down that way, it's pretty easy to see it, especially at night. You can see the lights, or even the daytime, you can see everything. So come by and happy Halloween. We'd love to see you, and come check out the decorations. I think people will really enjoy it.
Happy Halloween to you too, Aaron. I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. And remember, you can always let me know what inspires you here in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email for a chance to be featured. Isn't that quite a masterpiece there, Leah?
That is pretty cool. I've been saying all morning, but it is like Christmas lights, but almost better because there's such a story behind it.
And it's so unique, too.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so awesome. So good stuff up there in Sun Prairie.
6:15 now. Chris Reese here with your first warned weather. A little spooky rain moving through the area.
A little spooky. Spooky, if you will.
Spooky rain.
We do have some rain showers that have moved through early on. Now you're looking at the radar and you're like, hey, Chris, it looks a little dry. All right, I've got two things to spook you then. This is snow that's popped up across parts of central Minnesota, so it's getting colder. This is the rain, though, that moves in as we start to move towards the afternoon and evening, and there's a lot of it. This is filtering a ton of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico, so things will get wet later on, that is for sure. In the meantime, you've seen a couple of spotty showers, but outside of those spotty showers, all is not raining as you head out the door. I don't want to say dry because it is still fairly damp as you begin to step outside. 51 our temperature. We've now seen the winds pick up a little bit out of the north and west. We had a cold front pass through that was right on top of us. Now that colder air is filtering in. 61 in Milwaukee and Kenosha. Meanwhile, it is 40 in Viroqua, 39 in Decorah, Iowa. So you see the temperature spread just across the Badger State for you. Even in the Madison Metro, there's a bit of a temperature spread. 54 in Rockdale, 48 in Mount Horeb. More 40s to the west, more 50s a little bit farther to the east. So let's really talk about the weather day. To the east, a washout. You are going to get soaked later on. To the west, hey, you might see some sunshine for a little bit today before more of that cloud cover moves in. That being said, as rain chances go up, temperatures come down. That's the focus all day long. 10 o'clock, we're sitting at 49. Watch this. Temperatures continue to drop, but then the rain starts to work its way in from the south. 4 o'clock, we're at 48 at this point. Heavy showers anywhere from about the Wisconsin River all the way towards Lake Michigan, and that'll continue into the nighttime hours. 45 by the time we get you towards 10 o'clock, and still more of this rain is coming down. If this were winter, it's one of those setups where I'd be telling you there's a super sharp cutoff to the north and west side. So when you get towards Sauk County and west, you may not see much of anything in form of rain today, but farther towards the east, we are talking a lot of rain coming down. But it all clears out for all of us overnight tonight. 55 tomorrow. 56 on Thursday, and we'll gradually start to warm up towards Saturday, then more 50s in that forecast for next week. Your next cold front brings rain chances. Look at the difference of highs next Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, big change coming, but we knew that. Chris Reese, thank you very much. 6:17 as we head into those colder months with inflation rising, keeping our energy bills down is top of mind.
Imagine a home that could create more power than it uses, so your energy bills would be zero. That's what a Madison couple's paying right now.
How'd they do it? Susan Simon shares their story.
The traditional American home devours energy, and most don't produce any in return. When engaged couple Kevin Frick and Jackie Friedel decided to build their home, they wanted to change that. They found their opportunity at Terra Vesa, a new home community in Fitchburg.
Congratulations! It's move-in day. Yeah, can you believe it?
No, I mean, it's been 5 months of the build timeline, and we're just so excited we're here now.
Yeah, we're very excited.
It looks similar to others in the neighborhood, but this house is special in a sustainable way. It's a certified net zero energy home.
What does it mean to be net zero, to have a net zero home?
So there's a couple of things we did. In the design phase of the home, we try to reduce how much energy the house will even use.
Kevin, why was that important to you?
From my perspective, I mean, first off, just helping the environment. And second off, we will have almost zero utility bills because of our solar panels and being all electric.
A net zero energy home is one that produces as much energy as it uses, eliminating monthly heating and cooling bills.
I also think it's a cool thing to do. I mean, we built a modern home with modern equipment. It looks normal. It just uses less energy, and we'll save money down the road.
Who chose the red? Badger red.
We're both Badgers. Yeah.
I love it. It pops.
Yeah.
Can we see inside?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go on a tour.
Okay.
Kevin and Jackie worked with Focus on Energy to design their high-performance dream home.
So behind us, we have Energy Star certified appliances, the refrigerator, our double oven, and those use less energy. And then we have an electric fireplace, so that's also going to use less energy overall. And we can adjust the colors.
Oh,
how fun.
Look at that.
Yep.
Does it kick off any heat?
It does.
Yeah.
Builder Tim O'Brien Homes angled the roof and foundation to capture as much sunlight as possible. 41 solar panels on the roof and garage take care of the heat, air conditioning, lighting, everything we all need energy for at home.
This is the air source heat pump, and this is what will heat and cool our home all in one system.
There's a unit outside that pumps through basically hot or cold liquid through here where it hits air, and then that's sent up to the vents.
So it's not using any natural gas.
Nope.
It's purely run on electricity.
Yep, and it uses heat found in the air to pull heat in and out of the house.
So when we say that this house is net zero, that means you will not be paying any energy bills.
That's correct.
That's the goal. Yep.
We will pay the utility a connection fee. That's what's normal. Other than that, we're not paying anything to use energy.
Net zero homes cost an average of 10 to 15% more to build. Kevin and Jackie paid $485,000 minus the lot to build their 2,300 square foot home. But they get 30% of the cost of their solar panels back as a federal tax credit on top of Focus on Energy rebates.
How long will it be before you break even?
8 to 9 years on the solar panels. On the house, it'll be significantly faster than that. I haven't done the math.
And the total life of the panels is typically around 25, 30 years.
Putting money into your home in energy efficiency and renewable energy is a fantastic investment for the future, both for the community, for the environment, as well as your pocketbooks.
What are you hoping for the future?
Well, I'm hoping for an ease of life living in this house, things I don't have to worry about, comfortability, a family.
Yeah, classic things.
The only thing Kevin and Jackie don't have yet is an electric car, but they did have the builder install an EV charger in the garage.
We have a link to Focus on Energy and many other net zero resources on channel3000.com.
A Susan special there, very interesting.
Yeah, very cool. 6:21 straight ahead, we're taking a look at today's My Morning Photo.
And in our next half hour, the Christmas parade trial could come to an end as soon as this week, when the jury will take up the 76 charges against the suspect. Stay with us.
Closed captioning sponsored by Community Shares of Wisconsin's Workplace Giving Campaign.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
DePaco Credit Union members are better together because together members share thank yous, a DePaco-only perk that thanks members in cash. And because you're not just a member, you're also an owner, everyone benefits. How will this year's nearly $3.7 million in thank yous benefit you and your community? Since 2016, DePaco members have shared nearly $24.4 million. We truly are better together. Join the movement where your member ownership pays. Visit your nearest DePaco branch or join online at DePaco.com.
You know, those mornings when it takes just a little bit extra to get you out of bed? This might be it.
Wake up to the goodness of Jimmy Dean.
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. Downloadable inspection reports, so you see what we see. Downloadable. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. That's what I'm talking about. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
When you prefer dream vacation over a rental nightmare, it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
I'll never forget January 6th, watching my fellow law enforcement officers defending the Capitol, defending our freedoms, defending democracy, and then 5 officers died. But Ron Johnson is making excuses for rioters who tried to overthrow our government, even calling them peaceful protests. Johnson defended Donald Trump's lies and even supported efforts to make it harder for some people to vote at all. Senator Johnson's just not for us.
And Citizens United is responsible for the content of this ad.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
We're back at 6:25 this morning. Before you make like a tree and leaf, take a look at this My Morning photo.
All right, I'm leaving this up.
KCG coming in hot with those fall colors. Take a look at that.
Don't you love having Josh in house? So we
I
can
do,
hear all the
every
fun
time.
in person? That's great.
When I'm gone, I need a new pun person.
You're going to have to find, no one will ever match up to Josh.
I know.
Well, bless your hearts. I try.
Kevin certainly tries. He's got gorgeous pictures. Hey, he had to email this to us, tips@channel3000.com. Facebook is not allowing us to grab the My News 3 morning photos anymore. So share them. Still works on Instagram and Twitter, or email us your pictures so we can share them.
We love to see him. All right, Chris Reese, let's get a look at that bus stop forecast.
Grab an umbrella. You're not going to need it going to school, but headed home from school, if you can remember it, it will be raining by that point. Temperatures will be in the 40s.
Time right now, 6:26. We'll be right back after this. Stick around.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Fresh ground chuck, only $2.49 a pound. Simply Done bath tissue or paper towels, only $2.99. And Jack's Pizza, only $1.88. Scan the code, get deals, only at Hy-Vee.
He made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. His dad worked the third shift in an auto plant. Johnson pushed tax breaks benefiting himself and his millionaire donors. Barnes will cut taxes for the middle class. Johnson would let states ban nearly all abortions. Barnes will protect our rights. Ron Johnson's extreme and out for himself. Mandela Barnes works for us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Very loud. It sounds like a bull running through a china shop. I don't know what else to say.
People don't realize how nice a door can run until they get it serviced. It's whisper quiet. Your neighbors will thank you.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
A new Chevy is the smart way to hit the open road. The smart way to road trip and seek new adventures. Go a little farther in the new Chevy. Find new get up and go, find new roads. Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing or get $1,200 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. Celebrate Halloween weekend at Jurassic Quest. Come dressed in your favorite costume for a chance to win a prize. And join us for Trick or Treat. This weekend only in Madison. Buy tickets in advance for best selection at JurassicQuest.com.
Mornings can be a little crazy. Whether you're rushing to get your teeth brushed or cleaning up after breakfast before the bus gets here, Tuscany faucets make it easy. You don't have to sacrifice style for function. Tuscany's dependable, so there's nothing to worry about. And when there's finally time to relax, you can focus on doing what you love. Tuscany, quality you can see. Only at Menards.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle-class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Fritos or Cheetos, only $1.88. 6 packs of 7-Up products, only $1.48. And 5 pounds of Hy-Vee One-Step potatoes, only 88 cents. Scan the code, get deals, only at Hy-Vee.
I will declare the evidentiary phase of this trial concluded.
Right now, the end to the Christmas parade trial drawing near, when the 76 charges against the suspect could be faced by the trial.
And new details about the cause of death after 6 bodies were found inside a Heartland home that caught fire.
Plus, I'm still tracking raindrops this morning. It doesn't look like much, but much is to come.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on a Tuesday morning. I'm Josh Brighter.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Chris Stanford has the day off. We're starting the morning with the radar. Chris Reese watching some raindrops head to the east of the state, but more on the way.
Yeah, more raindrops are on the way, and things have generally been a little bit quiet for us. I mean, this is the one area where we're tracking some rain this morning. That's going to be around Lake Geneva, and even most of that out of our immediate viewing area. So we're good for now before more rain starts to work its way into the picture later on. This is Doppler track across the Madison Metro. For the most part, it's quiet, but I'm not going to call it dry. It's damp as you step outside, and that dampness sticks around all day long. Also, temperatures fall all day long. 54 in Rockdale. Lake Mills, you're at 53. Portland at 51. It is 49 for Wanakee, Verona, Cross Plains, and Arena. 48 for Perry, Mount Horeb, and Sauk City this morning. So you can already see where some of that colder air is working its way in. 51 officially at the airport. Cloudy skies right now. The humidity at 89%. Yes, there's moisture in the air, and you will continue to sense that moisture pretty much all day long. Check it out. Winds out of the south in Kenosha, then directly out of the west, one county over. So you see where our cold front is. It is 39 in Decorah, Iowa, but 61 in Milwaukee. So quite the temperature spread across the state. 22 degrees, and we will get cooler as the day goes on. Looking ahead, raindrops moving back in after lunch as temperatures are into the 40s.
Thank you, Chris. Happening today, the judge in the Waukesha parade trial will be reading 107 pages of instructions to the court after Darrell Brooks rested his case.
That is expected to take all day, but if the judge finishes up, each party will be given an hour to make closing arguments.
Since nothing I say even matters at this point, I'm just going to tell the jury what they need to know. I'm just going to tell them the truth.
Mr. Brooks, you are aware that your closing arguments have to be based on law and fact, correct?
They're going to be based on whatever I'll base them on.
The prosecution says they expect to wrap up their closing in no more than 45 minutes. The rest of that hour can be used to rebut the defense's argument. Though it shouldn't change anything, one legal expert says Brooks did the best he could with what he had in his defense.
He was able to point out actually a couple inconsistencies with the witnesses that he called, and also pointed out that there might be some identification issues. Some people identified different looking people compared to what he may physically appear.
Depending on the timing today, the judge will decide if they want to start deliberations this evening or tomorrow morning. The jurors will be sequestered until a verdict is reached. In Madison, there's a meeting tonight to discuss whether the school district should change the name of another one of its schools following Madison Memorial's name change. Community members formally requested a change to the Thomas Jefferson Middle School. It's because its namesake also once owned enslaved people. Board members first got that request back in February. There's an ad hoc meeting tonight to keep the community up to date on any name suggestions and what's next in the process. That's scheduled for 5:30.
An update now to a story we've been following since Friday. Fire crews say the explosion that leveled a duplex in Oregon caused an estimated $1.5 to $2 million in damage. It happened on Oregon Parks Avenue Friday morning. 2 buildings were destroyed and others nearby were damaged. There were no reported injuries, including pets.
6:33 now. An independent investigation into the Dane County Zoo is over, and the results show there was no evidence of discrimination or a hostile work environment. The Dane County Board says the investigation was conducted by a retired county judge. It found zoo management did not violate the county employee handbook. Although the investigation did uncover some isolated past issues with animal treatment, those had already been investigated or resolved. Now, the judge says the complaints of discrimination did not meet legal thresholds, but she did issue 10 recommendations to improve the general work environment at the zoo. We've got those posted up right now on channel3000.com.
New details about a deadly fire in Heartland this morning. Police say all of the people found inside the apartment last week suffered gunshot wounds. One of them appeared to be self-inflicted. Adam Reif reports.
This is a tragic incident for the family of the deceased, our first responders, and the Heartland community.
Heartland police confirmed the 6 victims found in the apartment fire suffered single gunshot wounds in an apparent murder-suicide.
Connor McKissick's gunshot wound has been determined to be self-inflicted.
Connor's wife Jessica was also killed, and the other 4 victims were children, 3-year-old twin boys and 14-year-old and 12-year-old sisters. In a letter home to families, Arrowhead High School identified the 14-year-old as freshman Natalie Claymeyer. The Heartland Lakeside School District identified the 12-year-old as 7th grader Sophina Claymeyer.
It's been a rough weekend.
Jackie DeGangi's daughter was friends with Sophina.
She was just such a nice, kind-hearted, loving girl. Always just in high spirits.
DeGangi was one of several people who gathered throughout the day at a makeshift memorial outside the charred apartment building.
I just needed some time to, come pay my respects and, show that I really did care for her.
Michael Hetzel was a former classmate of Natalie.
Well, she was such a caring person. She always had a good-hearted, personality.
Several guns were recovered from the home. We asked the police chief how Connor McKissick got the gun used in the shooting, if McKissick left a note or some other explanation, and if officers have been called to that home in the past. Chief Misko said the ATF is looking into the guns, but he declined to offer any other specific information.
Again, we still have this as an active investigation. We're working through all those details.
In the meantime, the police department will continue to work with the medical examiner's office and the state fire marshal on a case that has already taken a toll on everyone involved.
We have done some critical incident stress debriefing up to and including about going on at this very moment.
6:36, let's take a live look outside on a Tuesday morning. The road's still pretty wet this morning as we have a little break from the rainfall here in the 608, but Chris Reese is timing out even more rain to impact your Tuesday coming up.
And a preview of what we can expect from Badger men's basketball after a secret scrimmage this week. News 3 Now This Morning is back after the break.
Life gets bigger when you break from the herd. The Volkswagen Tiguan. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the versatile 2022 Tiguan. Limited inventory available.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Pre-shop the big fall sale at Madison Lighting. Save on every light fixture, every brand, indoors and out. Plus, save on all their home decor. You'll love this. Madison Lighting, Watts Road, Madison.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Keep bragging about your buck after the hunt with wild game processing from Johnson's Sausage Shop in Ryle, Wisconsin. Friends enjoy a hunting story more over a jalapeno cheddar stick. Johnson's Sausage Shop accepts wild game 7 days a week. First bucks in are the first brats out.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman, and said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
It's a lovely day. Cars built with safety in mind, even for those guys. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today to learn more about the spacious 2023 Atlas. Limited inventory available.
As political ads bombard you with campaign promises and claims to capture your vote, News 3 Now gives you a reality check, clarifying the candidates' messages and finding the facts to help you make informed choices. Reality Check, Wednesdays on News 3 Now at 6.
The candidates for Wisconsin Attorney General face off in a live debate. Join us as Attorney General Josh Kaul and District Attorney Eric Toney debate in a Campaign 2022 special.
Thursday at 4 p.m. on News 3 Now, your local election headquarters. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:39 on a Tuesday morning. It's time to see what's happening in the 608. A lot of families have unique holiday traditions, and you may be noticing some people going all out for Halloween this year. That includes the Vulcan family in Sun Prairie, where I sent photojournalist Mark Schilling live this morning. Aaron goes all out in creating this masterpiece every year. And Aaron, this is just a beautiful display once again. This is the second year that you're doing this here in Sun Prairie.
That's right, Josh. Thank you very much. Yeah, we did a pirate exhibit last year, and this year we decided to do a kind of a mad scientist theme. My son River and my wife were like, hey, let's do something different. We'd done pirates for 2 years, and so I started in January creating stuff. I created like a 7-foot Frankenstein, which was pretty funny. When people would come in the garage, it would kind of spook them. I built this, giant fence out of PVC pipe and wood, and that took a long time, and bending it. My son helped me with it, and then just kind of creating things through the months, and people got excited in the neighborhood. They were excited about coming by and asking questions. What are you building now, or when are you putting it up? So I mean, that was really fun. It was really fun to kind of see their excitement about it, and so I guess it's turned into kind of a tradition now.
Yeah, we are just in awe of you right now here in the studio. I didn't even see you blending in with the crowd. You're dressing the part this morning, Aaron.
Yeah, I decided to kind of change it up and be dressed a little bit. I'm going to be dressed as a mad scientist for Halloween and kind of getting into it. And yeah, so it's just kind of a fun thing, a fun tradition to get into and to see people's faces. And the kids love it. Kids and adults love coming out and seeing seeing all the decorations and seeing everything, and some stuff I buy and some stuff I make or retrofit some things, and just kind of fun to explore. I got like a big skeleton online, and then kind of turned it into this mad scientist, like an electrical thing, like he was getting electrocuted, and it was fun. My son will give me ideas. He'll see stuff, and we'll be in the store, and he'll say, hey, you should get this or you should do that, and I get ideas online through Facebook or Pinterest, and kind of put it all together and come up with a theme and try to stay with that theme.
So this question is from my colleague Leah. Does other people in the neighborhood go all out like you, or are you pretty much the only one that has the Halloween decorations out?
That's a great question. I wish other people went all out. They do the degree that they like to. Some people do inflatables, some people do some lights. We moved here some years ago. When we were in Oklahoma, we had 1,000 kids that came through the neighborhood, and we kind of brought that spirit with us here, and we're hoping that more people will do that. And so the short answer, the long answer is no, they don't go quite as crazy as we do, but they do get into the spirit, that's for sure.
No one's dressing like you here on a Tuesday morning at 6:30 in the morning.
Nobody quite that crazy.
Hey, we love to see it, though. It makes you unique. If folks want to come out and check out the display, how long do they have, and where can they find you guys?
Yeah, so we'll have everything up obviously through Halloween. We turn on the lights and stuff at night. We're in Sun Prairie, obviously down the street from the post office. We're on Silverado, and yeah, as soon as you kind of come down the road where the post office is, you can't miss it. The lights are pretty bright. You can kind of see them in the horizon and whatnot. So.
Well, and who could miss that hair that you're sporting this morning, Aaron?
Yeah, do you like it?
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. Happy Halloween to you and your family.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys, and happy Halloween.
You bet, you bet. All right, if you'd like to have something to feature here on News 3 Now this morning, remember you can always reach out to me on social media or email for that chance to be featured. I had no idea Aaron was like lurking in the background there with that. It looked like he was part of the display.
That was good television. Oh my gosh, I love that he's like, you really can't miss it.
You really can't miss it. No, that is so cool. I just love that though. You know, you get into the spirit, whether it's Halloween, whether it's the holidays. I mean, this is the time of the year that a lot of people live for.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Making it unique, making your own story.
Yeah, wow. Congrats to him. That's quite the feat to pull off.
It really is,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, 6:44, just a bit of a rainy day if you're going to head out and check out the Halloween lights over in Sun Prairie.
We will see some rain later on, especially. So the earlier, the better. Maybe check that out this morning. Just do a little drive-by as you're headed in, or leave a little early. Give yourself time, because by the evening, lots of rain is going to be working its way into the picture. It doesn't look like much in Wisconsin, but this is the rain that is yet to come, and all of that's going to be working its way farther to the north as we go through about the next couple of hours here. So that being said, we are dry for the moment, but we will not be by the time we get you towards midday and into the rest of the afternoon and evening. Doppler track over the Madison Metro, all clear. Temperatures at 51, and it is cloudy. Temperatures continue to fall as we go throughout the rest of today, too. That's one of the other big stories. 37 now in Decorah, still 61 in Milwaukee. So that's the temperature spread of 24 degrees that you see just across the state within itself. Even in the Madison Metro, it's 54 in Rockdale, but 46 in Mount Horeb. So then you have the 8-degree temperature spread just over the county at this point. So all of these cooler temperatures will continue to make themselves known as we go throughout your Tuesday. All right, watch this. The clock has stopped. 10 o'clock. Rain starts to move in from the south as our temperatures continue to come down with winds out of the north and west. 4 o'clock, you're headed home. We are in the 40s. It's rainy, it's windy, it's wet. A lot of folks will probably complain about it, but hey, at least we're getting some rain. You know, we could be in a drought right now. So that's the situation, and I want to make sure everyone's prepared for that. So an umbrella, a rain jacket, even though you're fine now, still maybe grab that as you head home later on this afternoon and evening. Even 10 o'clock, we're still in the 40s with that rain. One of the other things I want to point out, west of Dane County, west of the river, we could spend the entire day being dry. So it's all about where you are, and the farther south and east you are, the more likely that you will be rained on and get a lot more rain than your other friends just back towards the west. But the sunshine will return for tomorrow. We'll top out with double nickels, 55, 56 moving towards your Thursday, and then 59 by Friday. Saturday, we're back into the 60s for at least a day. And then we'll see those temperatures really kind of hang out into the upper 50s for your afternoon highs. Your next true organized rain chance looks to arrive by the middle and end of next week.
All right, Chris Reese, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Wisconsin men's basketball are back from Northern Iowa this morning in their secret annual scrimmage.
Yeah, the only details we're hearing from Greg Gard, the Badgers never trailed, and he played 12 guys. Once the regular season starts, though, Gard will tighten up his rotation. But right now, he says this year with all the new faces, it might be a number of combinations that see the floor.
You know, obviously we have 3 really, really good players that are proven. And then the rest, we've seen guys kind of take hold and step forward. But I think it's also going to be one of those teams where it could be different guys in that 8, 9, 10 spot each night. And to use the depth of this team, and I think kind of the balance of this team in different ways.
Here's something that will put a smile on your face. After the Badgers wrapped up practice yesterday, Greg Gard had a special message on the video board, which included Isaac Lindsay getting surprised with a scholarship. The sophomore guard is a local product from Mineral Point.
You know how proud I am to hear of anybody coming out of Iowa County, all of southwest Wisconsin, and doing big things here in Madison.
Some local blood doing some really, really great work. I mean, that's impressive stuff, so.
Yeah, Greg Gard, also from Cobb. There you go. Something in the water out there.
Every day, it's like, who can we name from Southwest Wisco? We love to see it.
It's a big deal, you guys.
Leland Shine.
6:48, coming up in the morning sprint, all the local news you need to get your Tuesday started.
But first, it is October 25th, and we want to say happy birthday to all the kids turning 3 today. Happy birthday, and thanks for celebrating with us early on News 3 Now this morning.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
Just pretend I'm not here. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
He made $57 million from a family business whose growth was directly linked to China. His dad worked the third shift in an auto plant. Johnson pushed tax breaks benefiting himself and his millionaire donors. Barnes will cut taxes for the middle class. Johnson would let states ban nearly all abortions. Barnes will protect our rights. Ron Johnson's extreme and out for himself. Mandela Barnes works for us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
2 new IHOP lunch and dinner menu items for twice the goodness, twice the flavor, and twice the choice. Sirloin Salisbury steak and all-natural salmon. Perfect for lunch or dinner. Only at IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every purchase.
Reviews are very important. It really reflects on how we're handling customers at Precision Door. It's feeling like I'm helping out my neighbor. Quality service quickly from a name you can trust.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
When I had stubborn fat, I always felt self-conscious. I couldn't wear the clothes I wanted to wear, and it was so frustrating.
I worked so hard. By working out, by dieting, that stubborn fat was just not going anywhere.
I had this vision of how I wanted to look. I didn't feel like myself, so I did what I needed to do. I called Sono Bello. Sono Bello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist because it works.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently.
Sono Bello removed this big pooch right here. I have curves. I have exactly the body I've always wanted.
I got myself back, my shape back, but most of all, my confidence back.
I lost 4 inches off my waist. Going to Sono Bello has completely changed my life. Just look at me.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-510-6198 or go to sonobello.com.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, Radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Right now at Slumberland Furniture, you'll get 30% off all living room furniture. Yep, sofas, sectionals, tables, recliners, and more. All 30% off. Plus 30% off select mattresses and 20% off everything else. On now at Slumberland Furniture.
Open a certificate or money market account at Summit Credit Union today.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
The man accused of killing Brittany Zimmerman back in 2008 is expected back in court this week. 56-year-old David Call has a plea hearing scheduled for Thursday. Zimmerman was a student at UW-Madison when she was found dead in her apartment back in 2008. Prosecutors claim the DNA matches the crime scene. He's set to be in court at 9 a.m. on Thursday.
Area law enforcement still searching for a suspect they believe is responsible for a shots fired incident and rollover crash. Fitchburg police responded to a shots fired call on Coho Street Monday morning. About 10 minutes later, the rollover crash happened about a block from the scene. Authorities believe the suspect may have gone into a nearby home, but when they went in with the tactical team, no one was found inside.
A scare this weekend on Madison's east side. Police say several bullets landed just a few feet from somebody who was sleeping in their apartment. Happened on Vernon Avenue, that's just off of Cottage Grove and Stoughton Roads. A patio door was shattered by gunshots. Police estimated 3 or 4 rounds went through the door. They landed near where a person was sleeping. Luckily, nobody hurt here.
In a new court filing, the Department of Justice argued the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness program should go forward. This comes while a challenge brought by several Republican-led states plays out. Friday, a federal appeals court in Missouri issued a temporary stay on the program. Already around 22 million people have submitted applications. Those who have not are still urged to apply.
A recall notice for you if you're a user of dry shampoo. A number of brands, including Dove, Nexus, Suave, and Tresemme, all under recall this morning. These are popular ones. Take a look. Bedhead as well there. It's because of potentially elevated levels of a chemical called benzene that can cause cancer. The levels are pretty minimal here. They likely wouldn't cause adverse health issues, so this is just out of an abundance of caution. You can find a full list of what's being recalled right now on the FDA's website.
Breaking news this morning, a Russian court is delaying an appeal by U.S. basketball star Brittany Griner against her 9-year drug conviction from August. The two-time Olympic gold medalist was arrested back in February for having cannabis oil in her luggage, which is banned in Russia.
The on-again, off-again, now on-again relationship between Twitter and billionaire Elon Musk might soon see some closure. A Delaware judge asking the two sides to finalize the sale by the end of this week or face a November trial. This comes after months-long battles between the two, where Musk threatened to back out, then Twitter sued Musk to force the purchase. Just last week, Musk told the social media company he's ready to move forward. He has a Friday deadline to do so.
Henry Cavill has confirmed he will return to the role of Clark Kent, also known as Superman in the DC Comics extended cinematic universe. The British actor broke the news on Instagram. He shared a profile shot of himself as Superman before saying in a selfie video in part, quote, "I wanted to make it official. I'm back as Superman." The news comes after Cavill appeared as the Man of Steel for a cameo at the end of Black Adam, the new DC superhero film starring Dwayne Johnson.
Some sad news for the entertainment world. Comedian and actor Leslie Jordan has died. He was involved in a car crash in Hollywood this week. It's not clear if he died in the crash or suffered a medical emergency beforehand. Jordan is best known for his work on the TV show Will and Grace and American Horror Story. He was just 67 years old. We have more breaking news this morning from across the pond here. Britain has a new prime minister as of just about an hour ago. Rishi Sunak becomes the youngest prime minister in modern history at age 42. This comes, of course, after the resignation of Liz Truss just weeks into her tenure. The country is facing an economic crisis that Sunak will now be in charge of reversing.
Rain chances moving into the picture right now, and we'll see those rain chances really increase into the afternoon. One of the things I want to stress, though, temperatures are in the 50s at the moment. Yes, this says today's high temps. Think of it as afternoon temperatures because they will be into the 40s. Overnight tonight, temperatures will continue to fall into the low 40s. Tomorrow, we'll see a little bit more sunshine as temperatures top out into the low and mid 50s across parts of southern Wisconsin. 56 for your Thursday. 59 on Friday, 60s for Saturday. So we do start to warm up a bit. More 50s next week with more rain chances by the middle of next week.
Looking like a 50 at the end of that extended forecast. We're finally seeing a dip, huh?
I know, a little bit of a dip at that point, so we'll watch it.
Okay, Chris Reese, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
And thanks for joining us this morning, folks. We hope you have a great start to your Tuesday. Hope you have a full cup of coffee and a nice sunrise on the way. Stay with us. We have more news and local weather coming up in about half an hour.